Crow Country is a horror Resident Evil inspired game developed by SFB Games and also published by SFB Games. In this preview, we will explore the various aspects of Crow Country, the demo that is currently available on Steam, including gameplay mechanics, graphics, sound design, and just my overall thoughts on whether you should buy this game or not upon release. Let's move on into the gameplay. Gameplay of Crow Country offers players a nostalgic experience as the game is played truly to that of the old PS1 and PS2 Resident Evil games. The biggest nostalgia with this clone is the tank controls. Now Crow Country does modernize these controls, so if you want original tank controls, then play using the controller's D-pad. But you also want to do the more modernized feel, then utilize the analog stick to help you out so it doesn't feel as too tanky if you're not really about that life. In the demo, you start out with a starting pistol, in which we could talk on the combat of Crow Country. During combat, the gunplay is more of a free aim system instead of the stiffness of likes in OG days of Resident Evil. You can only get a couple of puppet zombies, if I want to call it that. They look like puppets and they're zombies to come across. So during this demo, you can only do a little bit of combat just to get a general idea. And overall, the aim and the movement feels very smooth once you actually get used to it. To help players survive, there are a couple of things that help players along their journey. There are vending machines in the circus that allows you to kick the machine. By kicking said machine, you can then get an array of items like health kits, antidotes for poison, and even bullets. Another major survival thing is to check the trash cans along the area, as they also houses many different bullets and all that good stuff to help players out. Because trust me, I use my bullets pretty quickly and I was like, what do I do? And then I randomly came across a trash can. I was just smashing things. I'm so used to like Resident Evil that I was like, oh sweet, came across it, boom, bullets. So definitely make sure to check your bullets. Definitely make sure to also check the vending machines. It helps out a lot. I end up getting poisoned from some spiders and found a vending machine, kicked it enough, got an antidote, saved me, thank God. Now, one thing I can say, I haven't ran into any form of item management issues with the demo, which granted, like I said, the demo is only an hour long, so there's just enough information to really get you going, but so much information is lacked, like the story, some of the combat, some of the enemies. The puzzles are definitely there. Like, it took me a bit of puzzles to even get past this demo. Now, I didn't run into any item issues either, like item management, which that is definitely a thing of like Silent Hill and Resident Evil. Item resource management, I didn't really run into any of those problems. I was able to continue stocking. Now granted, I was just kind of just grabbing items without paying attention to anything I was doing, to be 100% honest with you. But I didn't notice I ran into like, oh, you can't pick this up, because you know sometimes you're just mindlessly playing, so you're not really understanding like, okay, duh, and you should probably, you know, do some item resource management. But in an hour, I feel like I haven't really ran into those problems. The story will be told as you play the game, as you will come across notes that are left by former workers, which as they leave clues about how to continue the game, or they have huge story bits to get you stuck in the game's world, which is quite similar to that of Resident Evil and even Silent Hill. Like running into these notes, and the notes kind of give you a little bit of a backstory of that given area, or how we even got into this mess, especially early on in the game. Like you start to see like people are noticing like people are turning into zombies, and people are noticing this person's acting weird. Kind of a very Resident Evil Silent Hill trope, like just letting these memos or these notes kind of tell the story as you go. Another big paying homage to the goats you have saving the game is done by utilizing a fireplace, so you don't have to worry about limited saves like that you will with grabbing ink ribbons from Resident Evil. So I was able to save a couple of times without any worries. Granted, during the hour demo, I've only saved it twice. Normally, I know you'll need some form of an ink ribbon. I don't know if it was just for the fact of for the demo, or this is like full gameplay. I'm gonna take a guess this is just full gameplay. This is how it's going to be, so you don't have to worry about trying to make sure you got ink ribbons saved, stocked up. You can just save if needed without any care or worries. Now let's talk about some of the presentation bits. Visually, Crow Country excels at capturing the old style of games back on PS1 and PS2, really hitting home to that nostalgia factor. Even opening up the menu shows the user interface is a good imitation of what Resident Evil has done, but while trying to be its own entity, and the sounds of the game also is very immersive. Like, it really helps contribute to the immersion when from running on the ground and hearing the sound of the city be alive, and like as you step on like grates and stuff, it really has that tick, 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 tick type of sound. You know, like I could think of like Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 3, like when Claire, Leon, or even Jill are running on like the ground and stuff, like how that sound design really gets you going and gets you immersed in the world. Hearing the moans from the zombies in the background, or the sound that plays in Crow Country, there's a particular soundtrack that is on loop, and it just has this weird circus theme in a way, and it's overall quite interesting. I really love what the dev team did, SFB Games did, for the sound design. Like, it really sounds like all hell broke loose, and we're, in honest opinion, we're kind of fucked. So let's move on over to my final thoughts, right? So Crow Country, the demo, is an exceptional taste and callback to the likes of Resident Evil and even the Silent Hill games. Looking to find itself in its own identity with this weird puppet and circus themed atmosphere, adding a sense of dread around every single corner you come across. With this tanky and modernized controls, PS1 graphics, the story surrounding a missing person's case in this puppet zombie circus, and the hour of play, I didn't notice any cons, and I genuinely had a good time playing it. I can say the demo time was quite short. Like, I only played for like an hour before I beat it, and I can say this, I wish I was capable of diving more into the game overall. Currently, I haven't seen any release dates as of yet. I'll keep track of that. There is one thing I noticed, is that there is a particular crow in the beginning of the game that allows you to get tips on what to do next. That is a nice touch. I know a lot of people who are like super huge fans like me. I am a very huge fan, but I can understand, because playing Resident Evil 1 or playing Resident Evil 2 back in the day, it was okay. It was all right. Because the thing is, sometimes, you know how many times I had to pull up guides back in the day? Like, bro, what do I do with this thing? I don't even know where to go because of the amount of backtracking. Granted, you only get a limited amount of the things you can do regarding that, but it was still nice. I'd say this, it's still nice, right? You know, I'm not too mad about it. But besides, like, before I go on a whole tangent, there's currently no release dates as of right now, but I did wishlist it. You can wishlist it on Steam, so definitely go do that. I can't wait to see what there's left of this game left to do. Whether you're a fan of the game or a fan of the genre, then I feel like you would get at most a captivating experience overall. Definitely go check out the demo. It is on Steam. Like I said, it's an hour of play, but see what I'm feeling. I want you guys to understand what I'm feeling. But while I'm talking about seeing what I'm feeling, what do you guys think about Crow Country from what you've seen from today's episode? This is the episode 2 of my Halloween week. I already did Little Goody Two Shoes the other day. I will link that in the card at the top. But make sure to subscribe to the channel for more RPG content. Like the video, it helps out the channel. Your boy's on his way to 1,000 subscribers. I'm trying to hit a grand before Christmas. I'm trying, or at least before Black Friday. But other than that, it's been your host, Chaos DTV, here at Chaotic Inc., signing out. Peace.
I make a manifest. I don't sleep. That's so weak. Don't plan to rest. I'm from a hood where you die if you don't pack a vest. No culinary degrees, but whipping crack the best. Chefing, hard times taught lessons. Praying every night to pull up in park Benzes. What's my home is what you call trenches. You wouldn't last a day seeing life through all lenses. It's all tension, no sun, and rain and plenty. Full-time job, still can never make a penny.